Hello, I'm Christina Balit and I am the author and the illustrator of The Corinthian Girl, which has been published by Otter-Barry Books. And I thought, if I may, I'll just tell you a little bit about why I wanted to illustrate this particular story. I have for a while been wanting to do something that was telling a tale about the original Olympic Games, which in itself posed its own problems because the original Olympics would have been, for the most part, performed by men only and in the nude, which would have been problematic from a painting perspective. So I decided, no problem, I will tell my story about the Korean Games, which is the same event, if you like, but it would take place at Olympia, but on alternate years, and was only for women. However, the more I learned and looked into the life of children, and into girls in particular, that's, if you like, where the origin of this book has come from, because I discovered that for the most part, we know nothing, almost nothing, about the lives of women in ancient Greece. We know about goddesses and queens. I've painted many books in my life that deals with mythology and stories from all over the world, and there's all sorts of glorious characters like that to be enjoyed, but nothing have I found about a real person. And when I wrote this, I really wanted it to sort of show children also what life might have been like to live in a city like Athens. You know, what would you have worn? What would you have played? How would you have studied? How important would you be? And if you're a little girl, it seemed to me that you were very unimportant. But also, the trigger for this particular story has come from something really rather gruesome, and that was because I discovered that about 90 years ago, archaeologists were digging in what would have been the Agora, the original marketplace in Athens. And they discovered a well, and it was sort of tucked away, sort of down a side street. And at the bottom of this well were 450 skeletons of small babies. And they're not entirely certain why all these bodies were there. They assumed initially that they must have been, they must have died from natural causes, and maybe people didn't know where or how to bury them. Maybe there was some mass epidemic and people, the little ones died because of that. But they discovered that the ages of these little skeletons really varied, and most of them had not died from natural causes. There was abuse there. There was a very strong likelihood that they were just discarded for whatever reason that might have been. And they seem to have drawn a conclusion that the lives of little girls in particular were not important. And that charged my story. How does a young girl, whose entire life, if you like, has been stripped from her based on a decision that her father makes when she's barely 10 days old, how does she become a champion at Olympia? Thank you.